Hello and welcome to Your Broken Galaxy. I am Broken, and today I'm going to be doing a video that was recommended to me this morning. I saw this when I woke up and decided I'm going to put it together today. So here we go. Mace Windu and Palpatine are having an epic lightsaber battle, flailing about as would be expected by the two old men who are Master Force users, and Sheev destroys the window by striking it with his saber. But then Mace kicks at Palpatine, and he drops his saber. He starts stumbling backward, and he puts his hands down to break his fall, but unfortunately his right hand lands on a broken shard of glass left over from the window that he had just broke. He pulls his hand up to himself instinctively, which causes him to lose his balance and tip towards that side since he can't support his weight, and he ends up falling out of the window. Sheev, shocked at the turn of events, looks up at Windu, who stares back with a bit of surprise on his face, and as she falls, he thinks to himself, How in the world did I drop my freaking lightsaber? I've spent my entire life building power, delving into the mysteries of the Force, working my way through the political rat race. I was elected Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. I was wealthy beyond measure. At my moment of triumph, just as the final piece was falling into place, I dropped my lightsaber. Meanwhile, Anakin bursts into the room. Windu turns and looks at him and says, Skywalker, I told you to wait in the council chamber. And Anakin says, what happened to the Chancellor? And Windu is like, man, he has fallen out the window. And Anakin says, I need him. And he runs right past Windu and jumps after Sheev. Sheev looks up and sees Anakin fly from the window, screaming, I'm coming, Chancellor. And Palpatine thinks to himself, this freaking guy. I mean, he's as powerful as anyone I've ever met, but what a moron. So Sheev does a little backflip, and right before he hits the ground, he uses the Force to slow his descent, and he lands on his feet unharmed, other than the glass cut on his hand, of course. Anakin lands a few seconds later and says, I need you to save Padme. And Sheev says, right, well, we'll get right to it. But the Jedi Council is trying to assassinate me. About that, I think you should vacate your office. Anakin, don't be daft. No, I was thinking about it on the way over here. If you're a Sith Lord, that means that you are Dooku's master, meaning that you've been manipulating the war from both sides. I can see that you've got yourself into a position where you could easily be detained for the rest of your life, or even executed. I believe that coming forward and admitting your guilt would, of course, be ruinous for you. And that also means that you would not be able to help me save Padme. As you know, I'm not a perfect man, Chancellor. I'm not above skirting the law for the sake of justice or saving the ones I love. So I believe rather than turning yourself in, you should just vacate your office and return to Naboo. Padme and I'll come with you. The only evidence the Jedi have is that I secretly told Mace Windu you were a Sith Lord. Should he bring charges against you, I would of course deny that claim. And of course, even if you were a Sith Lord, there's no law behind that. With Dooku dead, I imagine that the number of people who actually know you had an involvement in the Separatist war effort would be incredibly small, if, in fact, there were any left alive at all. Maybe you aren't such a moron after all, Sheev says quietly. What? Oh, nothing. Very well, Anakin continues. Chancellor, I believe that your best choice is to flee, retire in magnificent wealth, but run from the Jedi. Given the tenacity of Mace Windu, I believe that he and the Jedi Order will hunt you until you are brought to justice. The only thing you could do is use your incredible fortune to stay on the run. Unless, of course, you had some incredible plan to take down the entire Jedi Order all at once, which now that I think about it, you very well may have, given the plans within plans and untold hours of scheming you did in order to orchestrate this war. So what is it, Chancellor? What's the plan? You know, Anakin, I must say I've underestimated you. I'll tell you the plan. Not so fast, Mace Windu says, several feet above them. Palpatine says, Not this guy again. And he starts blasting lightning, but realizes that because of the little cut on his hand, it actually hurts a whole heck of a lot. Windu hits the ground, and Anakin says, Master Windu, I need him alive. Why the heck do you need him alive, Skywalker? Windu asks. Oh, well, he's the GM for my tabletop role-playing game. And in the next session, we finally get to face down the final boss. Anakin, Palpatine says, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. You vacillate between brilliance and ineptitude like a metronome. And Windu says, you play tabletop role-playing games? I do. You? Yes. Is that so hard to believe? Well, you know what? I was actually worried you might have a relationship with Senator Amidala. But there's no way that a girl like her would go for a guy that actually likes... Actually, she's okay with it. She what? Mace asks angrily. Freaking morons, the lot of you Jedi, Sheev says. All right, that's enough. Anakin, if you want me to help save your wife, Padme, then I need to be alive and free. His what? Mace asks angrily. Master Windu, I cannot allow you to commit treason against the Republic, Anakin says. Oh, thank goodness, Palpatine says in exasperation. Anakin, if you strike down Master Windu, then all of your problems will be solved. Yes, Master. You want to tumble, Skywalker? Let's do this. So Mace jumps at Anakin, and Anakin puts up his blade to block. But just as Mace is about to reach him, Palpatine uses the Force to slightly alter Mace, causing him to rotate, and instead of coming at Anakin with a vicious attack, he is accidentally cut to pieces on Anakin's lightsaber. All right, Anakin, Palpatine says as he pulls Windu's saber to himself. I need you to go to the Jedi Temple with the clones and kill all the Jedi. I'll enact my plan to kill the rest of the Jedi throughout the galaxy. Ha! I knew it, Anakin says. Yes, very clever, Palpatine insists. Then can we save Padme? Yes, she'll be fine. She's not in any real danger. But my dreams, Anakin says. I gave you those dreams. What? Why? So you joined the dark side. Well, why would I join you now that you've told me that? Anakin, come on, you just diced Mace Windu like Dex dices space onions. You know Dex's Diners? Well, yeah, I love the place. Oh, cool. After we're done, I would love to get a bite there. Yeah, okay, it's going to be a long night, but we can eat at Dex's when we're done, okay? Oh, great. So, Anakin goes and gets his clone boys and zoom over to the temple. Palpatine executes Order 66, and the Jedi are dying all over the galaxy. Once Anakin finishes work at the temple, he goes back to Palp's office and says, Hey, Sheev, I got us some Nerf burgers on the way over. And Palpatine says, Please don't call me Sheev. I'm your freaking master, for goodness sakes. Okay, fine. Here you go, Master. I got you a blue milkshake, too. Oh, why, thank you, Anakin. That's very thoughtful. Then Anakin says, So I'm guessing you want me to go and finish off the Separatist Council, right? And Palpatine says, How did you know that? And Anakin continues, Well, I heard Grievous was dead on the radio on the way over here. And with the Jedi ruined, Dooku and Grievous dead, all you have left to do now is execute a decapitation strike on the Separatist leadership in order to demonstrate that you are what the galaxy needs at its helm in order to create the first galactic dictatorship. Well, I'm going to call it the First Galactic Empire, but my goodness, very astute, Anakin. Yes, please, go kill the Separatists on Mustafar. Great! I'm gonna go say goodbye to Padme first. Yeah, whatever, just hurry up. So, Anakin goes to see his wife, and she is like freaking out, right? The galaxy is in chaos, there are flames coming from the Jedi Temple, and Anakin is like, Babe, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go to Mustafar to kill the Separatist Council. And he goes and kills them all, and then waits, ominously, broodingly, like the edgelord emo kid that wore all black all summer long and when he was in school kept his hood up in the back row of the class. And after about a day, Palps calls him and says, "Hey Anakin, go ahead and come on back." You see, because Sheev was fighting with Windu and Anakin a whole lot longer than he was in the movie, it caused him to be significantly delayed in giving out Order 66. And because of that delay, Obi-Wan was a little bit further away, and he was around a whole bunch of clones. Yoda wasn't quite ready, and so both of them ended up getting shot with everybody else. So Anakin comes back. The Emperor announces the beginning of the Empire. Padme is utterly heartbroken and still sadly dies. So Anakin raises his kids Luke and Leia with good old Uncle Sheev and ends up marrying some space celebrity. Finally, after 2 decades, when Luke and Leia are both around 20 years old, Vader goes to overthrow Sheev and just totally destroys him because, he's so much stronger without his stupid suit and with all of his arms, well, not all of his arms, but both of his legs and one arm at least. He turns the galaxy back into a republic out of respect for his long-lost first wife, and the galaxy lives happily ever after. Well, that is my video for today. Thank you, Lrods279. I do see you give me a lot of ideas. Some of them I'm able to think up something right away. Some of them are a little bit too complex. But if you guys do want to suggest things, I am happy to hear those suggestions. Absolutely no guarantees I'm gonna make something from them. Hey, if you would like to support the channel, it would be really cool if you checked out my Patreon. Links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that garbage.